Greetings everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm your host Captain Ryan. In today's video I'm once again back in my favorite tier 9 destroyer, the USS Fletcher, here in World of Warships. As the battle gets underway, it's Ice Islands, it's domination match mode. My team has started out spawning with the destroyer advantage. And I say that because each team has one tier 10 destroyer, but the enemy team has two tier 8 destroyers. Well, my team has a tier 8 and of course me at tier 9. Now, something I should preference at the beginning of this battle is that at the time I played this battle, I was incredibly drunk. 5 beers in when I decided to take this Fletcher out. And basically what's going to happen is nothing short than drunken hilarity. Now, if you're paying attention to the chat off to the side there, you can see the conversation that has been started and is going on. This conversation is going to peter out as the battle gets underway here. Now, I may have been drunk, but just as a testament to either how bad the enemy team was or how good I am, this battle is going to go incredibly quickly and incredibly well for my team, and specifically for me. Now, as I pop into the B cap point, I start capping, but you'll notice that the cap counter has stopped going up. That little ship icon has appeared down there. That indicates that there is an enemy destroyer in here with me. I slam on my rigs, pop smoke screen, and there is the enemy Benson. Now the enemy Benson is going to open fire back at me into the smoke screen, but because I have a friendly Kagero off in the distance here, he's actually spotting this Benson for me. So because the Benson is being spotted for me, I'm able to sit in my smoke screen unmolested by that Benson and just wail on him. You can see there he's trying to shoot into the smoke screen, but it's just not working out. And I'm able, in combination with the rest of my friendly ships, to finish him off very quickly. And here come those torpedoes. Now, this is why I say if you're going to launch torpedoes into a smoke screen, don't launch wide spreads, because you're not going to hit anything, especially if it's a destroyer. And so I'm able to very quickly turn my ship and dodge all of those torpedoes. Friendly Kagero here, he also doesn't enter the smoke screen, figuring that Benson's probably got torpedoes away. My first set of torpedoes don't manage to hit anything, which is a little disappointing. But now, here's the surprise. A second set of torpedoes coming through. Those are 4x4. That's an indicator that that is the Kagero. But then there's another set coming through that are also 4x4. Those could be from the Kagero as well, but possibly another set from another ship. The cap counter still is not going up, which indicates that yet another enemy vessel, and based on my detection range and the fact that I can't see anybody, indicates that it's another destroyer. And there's the enemy Shimakaze. So not one, but 2 of the 3 enemy destroyers decided to come into the B cap point. Smoke screen up there, laid by what I believe is the Shimakaze, covering an enemy Alabama. So I'm going to get torpedoes off at that Alabama. Hopefully he's not going to continue reversing. And our Kagero is also going to get torpedoes off at that Alabama. But here come more torpedoes, this time from the Shimakaze, who's putting torpedoes out there. And he manages to connect a torpedo on our Kagero, and so the Kagero is down. Now, my team has captured the A cap point, the enemy team is about to capture the C cap point, and I'm looking to engage the Shimakaze because he's a very dangerous threat. That's when I'm detected. Now, I'm just outside of detection from the Shimakaze, but the Kagero has popped up here. Now, the fact that the Kagero, the Shimakaze, and the Benson have all gone to the B cap point is absolutely insane to me. If you start a match and you have a destroyer advantage, or specifically you have more than one destroyer, really you should probably not send all of them to the same cap location. If you think that everyone else is going there, maybe pick a different cap location. Now, slam on my brakes here, I'm caught out in the open, and I have my smoke screen almost off cooldown. So at this point, I'm actually just reversing, and I'm just trying to avoid getting hit for the most part. But I take a big hit from the enemy New Orleans there, who's actually shooting at me. Pop my smoke screen, gotta remember to stop though, so that I can drop off detectability into it. In the meantime, the Shimakaze has been shooting at me as well. Now, because he's shot at me, and because we have other ships that are spotting him as a result, I'm able to sit in my smoke screen, again, unmolested, by the Shima or by the New Orleans and finish him off in addition. Now, the salvo before I finished him off, of course, left him with 14 health, which is just classic RNG. Kagero still in this cap, though. And now I'm going to leave my smokescreen and go look for him, partly because I don't want to be in my smokescreen when he decides to torpedo it. In the meantime, I popped 2 sets of torpedoes off at that New Orleans. One was behind where he was reversing, and one was well forward of him. And that torpedo set well forward of him was because there's an island in the way. Now, I figured that New Orleans would probably go and push up to that island and either turn and have to avoid the island, or he was going to push up right to that island and basically beach himself and use it as cover. Enemy Kagero manages to beach himself on the island at the beat cap point. I'm going to open fire here, and I'm not worried about this Alabama because, well, he's more concentrated on what's behind him than what's in front of him. Plus, he's burning down, and probably not long for the world. In the meantime, torpedoes did manage to connect on that New Orleans, so that's absolutely wonderful that I'm able to finish him off. And looking at this Kagero situation, he's not even pointing his guns at me. I don't know where this Kagero was aiming, but it wasn't at me. Finishing off the Kagero, I'm now 3 for 3 on the enemy destroyers. Yes, I've killed all 3 of them, plus I've killed 1 of their radar cruisers. But they don't have just 1 radar cruiser. The enemy team actually had 3. They've got a Chapaya, a New Orleans, and I believe a Des Moines. Now, I'm finally secure in a position to cap the B cap point. The entirety of the enemy team, with the exception of all 3 of their destroyers, that New Orleans and 1 Alabama, pretty much they all limbinged off down to sea. So they have the sea cap point, and that's really, at this point, the only thing that's keeping them alive in this battle. When you look at the situation, the enemy team has lost 6 of their ships to my team's 1, and the only ship we lost was a Tier 8 destroyer. So, as far as the points go, it wasn't that big of a difference compared to losing, say, 2 battleships and a cruiser. Enemy Hindenburg, out there in the distance, tried to consider getting torpedoes out on him. Did launch my sets off there, but you can see he's turning hard and away. He's taking a lot of heat now. And because my team was able to flank up and around over the A cap point, something you really don't see all that often, we now actually have a definitive crossfire between the west and east flanks of this map. And because we have this definitive crossfire, the enemy ships down here have a hard choice to make, which is basically, who do you shoot at? You turn your guns, especially if you're in a battleship with your slow traversing turrets, towards the east to shoot at what's on the east. You're not going to be able to shoot at what's on the west really quickly, especially if somebody is focusing on the west targets. So focusing fire is going to be a little bit more difficult. Now as I push up here, I've got an enemy Montana, nice full health Montana, that very juicy target. I get 1 set of torpedoes off at him based off of where I think he's going to go. If you look at the situation, he is turning, and I'm not sure if those torpedoes are going to hit. Speaking of torpedoes, Friendly Gearing there launches torpedoes from behind me, but he's kind enough to point it out in chat, and he was kind enough to leave me a nice wide gap to sail around in. Now, I'm going to type into chat here, and as a result, accidentally pop my smoke screen. Well, it happens. Forgot to hit the enter key before starting the typing. Second set of torpedoes there is actually going towards the east side of that island. Connect a torpedo on that Montana, and did cause some flooding, and it looks like, yes, that Montana is in fact flooding out, so that's going to be wonderful for me. Going to add some more damage there. Now he's put the flooding out, so I'm going to try and get shots out on him and light him on fire. In the meantime, that second set of torpedoes past the headland there was aimed at the Hindenburg, who looked like he was going to turn out there. But if you're paying attention to the minimap, the enemy Chapaya is pushing up towards that location, and he's actually going to get hit by one of the Gearing's torpedoes, and my second torpedo is going to finish him off. So that's going to earn me a Kraken Unleashed, and more importantly, it's going to earn me a kill I wasn't expecting to get. Plus, it's going to take out an enemy radar cruiser, which is, well, always a wonderful thing. In the meantime, this Montana pushing in towards my smokescreen, and the enemy team now down to just 4 ships. They've got 2 cruisers and 2 battleships. They have their Des Moines, they have their Hindenburg, And the Des Moines is fortunately far enough away, he's not going to be able to use his radar to effectively spot me for this Montana. In the meantime, this Montana has made a critical error and he's turning broadside on in front of my torpedoes, and I'm going to manage to connect with a lot of them. 3 there, plus flooding, plus he's on fire. The only question is, who's going to get the kill? I'd really like to get the kill here. Come on, can I get it? Nope, kill denied. And now the enemy team is down to just 3 ships, 1 battleship, a Kurfürst who is reasonably low health, and 2 cruisers who actually do have a lot of health, but the enemy team doesn't have a lot of time left here. They've only got 100 points, and my team is in that danger zone. We're at 990 points with a few seconds left on the clock before we cap out with the points. And this battle is going to end in a solid, dominating victory for my team. Well drunk, I might add. 141,000 damage done in that game, 5 kills, devastating strike, Kraken Unleashed, first blood, solo base capture there, 7 torpedo hits, and 6 floodings. Overall, a fantastic game for me, almost 900,000 credits earned in that battle in my Fletcher. It's always wonderful to see when that happens. Top of the team for XP earned at 2,800 base XP, earning significantly more than the next nearest player on my team. The good news here is that our Kagero did not end up bottom of the team, in spite of being the only member of our team who was killed, and everybody on the team earned more XP than everyone on the enemy team did. Anyway, that's it for today's video, folks. If you liked the video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment down below. If you'd like to get semi-regular channel news and updates, you can do so by liking and following me on Facebook. If you'd like to help support me and the channel, you can do so by becoming my supporter on Patreon. Your contributions help me improve my gaming system and video editing stuff. If you've got a replay like this one that you'd like to see featured on my channel, you can send it to my email. And if you'd like to watch replay various games live, you can do so by following me on Twitch. You can find the links for all of those in the video description down below. And as always, I'll see you next time. This is Captain Rye, signing off.